Well, hello and welcome to the relaunch of my YouTube channel. It's obviously 2024, it's the first Sunday of the month, and for my little project that I have ahead of me, that's very relevant. I did notice, I went and looked at my YouTube channel, and it was the last episode was 2 years ago. But this time it's going to be completely different. I'm just sitting on the floor here in my apartment, and I'll explain to you what I have in mind. So, like most people who do crafting, I have what's generally referred to as a SABLE, which is stash enhancements beyond life expectancy. And I'm trying to make this stop, and this is the idea for this year. I have 4 disciplines that I work in a lot. 3 of them I'm pretty good at, and the 4th one I'm kamikaze good at. So every month I'm going to do sewing, crochet, knitting and weaving, and those 4 disciplines I will do using up my stash. I envisage doing a monthly upload, so every first Sunday of the month we will see how I'm going. Basically doing this so that I can be a little bit accountable to myself, because I'm always buying things and then never doing anything with them. And I think I've figured out why. Because I'm a designer as well, I feel like everything I buy or acquire has to be my own design, and I don't have time for that. I work as a designer and I have a part-time job in a store, so there we go. Last year, 2023, I was in a Bruce Lee movie. Well, that's how it felt, just ducking and diving the whole year. So I never got around to doing anything. So this year I'm going to use up my stash, and I'm going to use other people's work. I've bought so many beautiful books, so many beautiful patterns, never used them, and I think it'll be nice and relaxing just to use somebody else's book, somebody else's design, and appreciate them, and make all that money that I spent on books worthwhile. Okay, so without much ado, I've got notes, of course, but heaven knows where they are, so I'll just wing it. I'll show you my first project. So basically what happened was I was buying books for the kids in December, and the bookstore that I was in had this book. You know, of course, I don't know if everything's back to front, inside out. As you know, no editing here. So this was the book that I bought. I thought, and as I looked at it, I thought, man, this would be a great stash buster. It's Knit Foxy and Friends by Daniela Taylor and Venice Sean, I don't know. And I looked through it, I thought, I'm going to buy that and do some stash busting. It's all a lot of garter stitch. It's for beginners, right? But then I remembered, no, wait, hang on. I've already got a book that I haven't used. So I went into my book stash and I took out this book, Knitted Animal Friends. And I remember buying it and thinking, oh my Lord, this is so beautiful. It's by Louise Crowther. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I thought, no, this is the book I'm going to use. I might pass this book on to a beginner knitter who is interested. We'll see. Anyway, so I started off with this one, and I decided to knit George. That's George. Is it too shiny? That's George. Oops, there we go. And I thought, I'm going to stash bust with George. So let me see if I can find George. I'll just show you George. So this is George. not quite finished. He's so adorable. So this is George. He's only got one shoe on at the moment. I'll undress George because it's just easier. So he has this little cute little neck scarf. I'll just slip off his, just wait. You have to see these. You have to see these. I mean, oh my Lord. Is that not just completely adorable? Anyway, so those are his shoes. And so his pants has got an opening for a tail. Now I'm in a quandary about the tail. So there's an opening there and you can sew his tail on. I don't know. I'm still deciding whether he needs a tail or not. I don't know. It just looks odd. It looks like a rhino horn. Anyway, if anybody's watching, you can put your comments down below. Tail or no tail? I'll go and have a little look. So that's his tail, and then the pants. I'll just undress him so you can see what he looks like. Because he looks, the top is knitted from the top down. Super, the instructions in the book are brilliant. So this is George, right? I've got black buttons for George's eyes. And I just like him because he's a little bit bow-legged. And he's got a spot somewhere. There's his spot. I mean, he's adorable. And the whole book is adorable. There are, I have to show you the bag that I have to bust. Just don't laugh yourself silly. This is it. That's the whole bag of 8-ply bits and pieces, blah, that I'm going to be busting on this project. So I have enough white yarn for another little person because, look, I'm old, right? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm gendered, sorry. So this is a boy and I want to knit a girl. So I have, let me see, it's between two. It's between, come on darling, this one. This is Tilly the hare. Okay. Oh, adorable. Or the thing that's doing it with Tilly the hare for me is the pom-pom little bum. And the other one is Amelia the duck. So those are the two girls, because I've got white, that I thought I would like to do. So once again, if you're watching, let me know which one of the two I should do. And then I'll do, and then with the rest of the yarn, I'll just keep knitting the clothes. The clothes are, oh, there's an owl in here wearing a duffel coat. I mean, seriously, look at his cute shoes. And I've got enough yellow. Oops, oh, I'm so sorry. I've got enough to make that duffel coat for George. So that is, I'll just leave that book there. That is the knitting project. Okay, well on its way. I started the minute I realized that that's what I want to do for the rest of the year. I got stuck in. So we'll go from the knitting. My crochet project is actually an ongoing thing because I supply an eco market with hand crocheted, dishcloths. So that's I've had to start again because she's run out of product. So I normally just use 100% cotton. So that I've got to do as we go. So that'll be a sideline job that'll happen all the time. But I've got a whole lot of cotton, little bits and pieces as well, that I need to crochet. So I've started this little lady. She's got, it's from an amigurumi tutorial that I wrote. So this is my design, but I don't have to worry about putting too much work into it because I've already put the work into it. So this is her, and she is going to be using up all of these colors in legs. I've got in the pattern there's a rucksack, there are a pair of boots, there's a little bonnet, so heaps and heaps and heaps of things that are going to use up all of this cotton that I've put behind me. So that's my crochet project that I will try and finish. So I'll always give myself a month, and then if I have any progress reports, I'll probably put it on Instagram. I am on Instagram as well, if you want to see the in-between of that. So that'll be the crochet one. Then sewing. I've got 2 sewing things because I sew quite quickly. This is, oops, look at this fabric. I've got mushrooms all over it. I love it, I love it, I love it. And these are going to become a pair of sleep shorts for my son, who that's something that I make for him on a regular basis. And I'll just make him another pair. He uses them all the time in summer, particularly like putting them on, wandering around the house and that. So that's my first sewing project. And my second sewing project is a little bit of fun. On a whim, I bought this cartoon fabric, which is actually, it's by Alexander Henry. I love his designs, and it's called, let me just quickly look again. It's called, where is the name again? Something about sewing woes or sewing sorrows. Sewing sorrows, and all of these actually do have things like sewing helps me to forget, and then my garment looks homemade. I should have used interfacing. So all of these kind of are little, it's fun. It's fun, and I'm going to be making this over here, just that long shift, very plain. I don't know if the fabric's going to be wide enough to take up this bottom hem, but I'm going to use up all the fabric, and if I have to shorten it, then I'll just wear it with a pair of white or black linen pants. That's all good. So if you want to know, this one is a border style, pattern number 7100, if you're interested at all. That's that one. I'll give you this one. The pattern that I'm doing for my son is also a border pattern, and it is pattern number 6741. I make the size 46 for Nicholas. I sew it as it is. It's a good fit. Easy instructions. If you can sew, you can sew it in an afternoon, no problem. So that's why I've given myself 2 of these to do in the month. And then my last project, which is the one that, these 3 I'm good at. I don't really have a problem with getting stuff done or finding things to do. But my last one is, let me see if I can shift up so you can see if I can pick it up. This is, I think oops. Oh, can you see what's going on there? Not really. I'll do some gymnastics and bring it over the top of my head. So I've started that one. So basically that is my 70 centimeter knitter's loom that I'm going to use to just weave up yarn that I have that really, this one is a SABLE Crazy, and all these different yarns that I had called Sulco Fusion, which is kind of a 3-4 ply, and I had all colors left over from a previous project that I can use. So I'll just be very simple, 1 row, 1 row, 1 row of each color until I run out of colors, and then I'll take it off the loom and see what it wants to be. I'm encouraging it to be cushions, but I just never know what it's going to be. So I've got 3 pieces off the loomers already, which were all stash busters, but I'm not counting it to this year. So this is a quickly just to tell you what I have in mind, and during this month I will put some updates on on Instagram, and you can all see how we're going. You're welcome to join me on the journey. Basically, I'm doing this so that I can get a handle on things that I really need to use. So that there are a couple of rules there that I'm doing. I can't buy any new things in the textile department. I can do books, but I really should use the books that I've already bought and make use of what I've got, because there's a lot. And so I'm going to, if I need like zips or stuffing or anything like that to finish off a project, I can purchase that. So these are all the rules that I've just set out for myself. Probably going to break a few because I'm going to Europe in March, and I don't know if I can walk past a wool store or a fabric store and not buy anything. So that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But anyway, I can justify anything. And then the last thing that I thought I would do is I've bought, in true textile nerd fashion, I have books and books that I haven't read. So I'm adding those to what I'm doing. And at the moment, I'm reading a book called The Golden Thread by Cassia Sinclair, How Fabric Changed History. It's an interesting book. I'll read the back. All textiles begin with a twist. From colorful 30,000-year-old threads found on the floor of a Georgian cave to what the linen wrappings of Tutankhamun's mummy actually meant, from the Silk Road to the woolen sails that helped the Vikings reach America 600 years before Columbus, from the lace ruffs that infuriated the Puritans to the Indian calicos and chintzes that powered the Industrial Revolution. Our continuing reinvention of cloth tells fascinating stories of human ingenuity. I recommend this if textiles is your thing and you want to know about the history of textiles. It is, towards the end of the linen chapter, I was kind of over the linen. Do you know what I mean? It's a well-written book with a lot of explanations, and I think if you're interested in history of textiles, then this is a very good book to read. So I'm going to plow my way through this. I've just reached the Vikings history with woolen sails, and I hope I'll finish this book by the first Sunday of next month, and I'll tell you all about it and see if it's something that you would be interested. I have other books of hers as well, which I'll be reading through the year. So this one, luckily, I had all my senses around me when I was putting all these stipulations about don't buy this, don't buy that. Books didn't come into it. I can still do books, but I'm going to try my best not to. I just think, just personally, I just have too much stuff. And it's always the idea, oh, I could do this. I don't think there's any crafter on the planet that wouldn't say, oh, I can do this. Oh, I can make that. Oh, I can do that myself. And do you ever, very seldom, do you really actually make all the things that you want to make? So this is my journey for this year. I hope you join me. I hope that I will have George all done and pretty, and make a decision between the bunny and the duck. If you want to help me, you can help me down below and say which one you think I should make. I'm quite happy to do either. And hopefully, oh, look at his ear, he's so gorgeous. So hopefully then by the next Sunday I'll have this young man and his lady friend ready to either be gifted or put in a glory box or something. So until then, thank you for listening, and if you If you followed me before, hello, I'm back. If you are new, hello also. And I hope we're going to go on a really interesting journey. I will try and put as much information down below. I'm not in any way an editor, or we're just going to run with this and see what happens. So from George and I, see you later. Bye.